Hey guys, it's Sunday evening. It's time for our capsule sermon, and Erica and Clancy and I just got home from our trip to Florida about an hour ago, and we've had a chance to drive around the place and check things out, make sure everything's okay, and got in here to knock this out for you guys. So on our trip, we've been gone about 3 or 4 days. We've met lots of people, lots of really interesting people, lots of really nice people. We've met all kinds of people doing all kinds of jobs. But we've also met a few people that you could just tell were just miserable in their job. They just did not want to be there. They didn't want to help you with anything. It was just like it was a burden to them for you to even ask them a question or for them to help you out. And maybe that was just a bad day for them, but you know, really you could just feel like they just really didn't care about their job. They was only there for them to draw a check and then get out of there as quick as they could. And it really stuck out to me today at the airport in Florida there, because when we got there about lunch and we were going to get something to eat before we got on the plane, and the lady that was working the food counter there, when we walked up, she just kind of stood over there and looked at us and just sat there. And finally I was like, ma'am, can we order? And she came over, not a hi, hello, what can I get for you? Just kind of stood there with this, disgusted look on her face, like she's like, why are you interrupting me coming up here to order something from this restaurant that I work in? So fast forward a little bit, as we're sitting in the terminal waiting to get on our plane, I see another lady that comes by, a custodial lady that's pushing a cart, and she's gathering trash out of the trash cans. And every person she walked by, she smiled and said hello and spoke to them if they wanted to speak to her. You could just tell she was just enjoying her day and going through her work and making the best of what she was doing. And it really got me to thinking about two things. The first thing that it reminded me of was with the book of Colossians, which is in the New Testament, the back half of your Bible, chapter 3, verses 22 through 24 say. And it says, bondservants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in sincerity of heart, fearing God. And whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance, for you serve the Lord Christ. Guys, when we break down those scriptures right there, what that's saying is that workers work for your bosses, not just to be a people pleaser, not just for them to see you working when they're there, but work like you're working for God. And remember that the reward that we get comes from God. The inheritance of heaven comes from God. So do our jobs diligently, do them happily, do them wholeheartedly as you're working for God. And the second thing that these interactions got me to thinking about is, guys, if you are completely miserable in your job, you don't have to stay there. Look for other employment. I'm not saying quit your job. I know we all have struggled to make ends meet. But while you're, if you're that miserable, if you just dread getting up and going to work every single morning, pray for God to get you out of that situation, to show you where He wants you. But while you're still there, waiting on God to show you where He wants you to be, and while you're waiting to get that new job, do the very best you can for the bosses that you work for. I promise you that it'll make your day better if you just have a good attitude when you hit that work floor every day. It'll make for a better day, a shorter day, and a more productive day. Guys, I love you. God bless you, and y'all keep praying.